Hey viewers, you're watching The Savera and I'm Vidhi Joshi. Mexico has taken a dramatic turn in its trade policy by imposing steep new tariffs on a wide range of Asian imports, marking a major departure from its long-standing pro-free trade stance. The measure approved by Mexican Senate will raise duties in some cases up to 50% on over 1,400 products imported from nations that do not have a formal trade agreement with Mexico. Among the nations affected are China, India, South Korea, Thailand, and Indonesia. The Senate passed the bill with 76 voters in favor, 5 against, and 35 abstentions, despite objections from domestic industry groups and strong protests from China. The lower house had already approved the legislation. Beginning next year and expanding through 2026, the new tariff regime will cover a wide array of industrial inputs and consumer goods, including automobiles and parts, textiles, apparel, plastics, metals, and footwear. While some items will face the maximum 50% duty, most products are expected to fall under a 35% bracket. For India, the new tariffs present a significant challenge. Indian exporters have long sought to expand their presence in Mexico, leveraging the nation as a gateway to the North American market and as a key link in regional supply chains. The increased duties threaten to reduce the competitiveness of Indian goods such as textiles, leather, auto components, and steel, forcing companies to reconsider supply chain routes through Mexico and increasing landed costs for those operating in or supplying to North American value chains. India's Commerce Ministry has not yet issued an official statement on the move. Analysts suggest that Mexico's sudden protectionist turn is influenced by pressure from the United States ahead of the next review of the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or also known as USMCA. While President Claudia Sheinbaum has denied any direct link to US demands, the structure of the tariffs mirrors American trade actions, particularly targeting Chinese goods. Observers believe that Mexico aims to signal alignment with Washington's tougher stance on China, which could help ease the sweeping US tariffs on Mexican exports such as steel and aluminum. The legislation passed this week is less severe than an earlier proposal that sought strict duties across nearly 1,400 tariff lines. Lawmakers have since reduced the seriousness of tariffs on roughly two-thirds of all these categories. Nonetheless, the Mexican Finance Ministry anticipates that the new levies will generate nearly 52 billion pesos or around rupees 19,000 crore in additional revenue next year, funds that the government intends to use to narrow the fiscal deficit. Within Mexico, reactions are mixed. Opposition Senator Mario Vasquez of the PAN party acknowledged that while the tariffs may protect certain sectors from cheaper Chinese imports, they also act as a tax on consumers, raising questions about how the government will utilize the additional revenue. On the other hand, Emmanuel of the ruling Morena party defended the measure, stating that it will strengthen Mexican products in global supply chains and protect jobs in priority sectors. The automotive industry in particular welcomed the move, noting that Chinese cars, which now account for 20% of the Mexican auto market, could threaten domestic manufacturing if left unchecked. Imported Chinese vehicles will face the steepest duty of 50% under the new rules. The legislation also grants Mexico's Economic Ministry Board authority to adjust tariffs on non-FTA countries at will, enabling rapid changes ahead of the USMCA review. This could result in more fluctuations in duty structures, impacting Indian and other Asian exporters in the coming years. The move underscores a broader shift towards protectionism across North America, particularly as the US and Canada tighten scrutiny on supply chain routing from China. Mexico's new tariff regime represents a significant recalibration of its trade policy, balancing domestic industrial protection, revenue generation, and strategic alignment with regional trade partners. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.